Ladies and gentlemen, they are warning the nation about a pretty difficult flu season this year. Now, that's something we haven't talked about in a while since the pandemic hit back in 2019, 2020. That's really the only thing that has been in the news, and very little is being said about the flu season. So they're saying nation warned to brace for a difficult flu season. Health experts are warning the nation, and they're saying you better get ready because this is going to be a bad one this year. What could be an unexpectedly severe flu season this fall and winter as more people who have not built up immunity over the past year. And we know people are out here mixing and mingling. There are two big reasons why people could be vulnerable to the flu this year. First is due to the restrictions. Everybody is not out here wearing a mask. I certainly see some people that are, but not everybody. And the flu is airborne anyway. So if it's not really 100% keeping you from getting, the thing we can't speak about, it's not gonna 100% prevent you from getting the flu. I mean, and we know the influenza viruses do change from one year to the next. It's not always the same strain. So they're saying that people are more likely to come into contact with the flu virus this year than over the past 2 years. The second reason is that fewer people are likely to be immune from the flu virus this year because fewer people are, people are just not running out there getting jabbed up, even with the flu. So they're saying over the past 2 years, as the pandemic locked people down and as people worried more about the pandemic, Richard Webley, a doctor at St. Jude's Research Hospital Infectious Disease Department, said the past two flu seasons simply have not seen, and yeah, in a lockdown, you would not have had a lot of contact with other people over the past 2 years. So simply have not seen the same levels of exposure to the flu as the population or immunity to the flu is down a bit, Webley said. When the virus come back, it's probably going to hit a bit more and spread a bit more, potentially, being a big thing across the nation. In a normal year, exposure to the influenza uh, generates some community immunity, as about 10 to 30% of the people are exposed to the flu in a normal season. Yeah, that's true. I remember one year my son had the flu, and we were we thought, okay, maybe I have it, but they told me I didn't have it. He had it, but I didn't. I mean, so just because you're in the same household with family that might be sick, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll have it. But fewer people were exposed in 2020 and 2021, resulting in a decline in natural immunity. For example, pediatric flu deaths normally exceed 100 every year before the pandemic. But in the past two flu seasons, have seen reports of pediatric flu deaths to under 40, with only one pediatric death confirmed in 2020. This lowered population immunity means people are at higher risk of contracting the flu this year, according to Webby. So they're saying that the flu season for the past 2 years has essentially been non existent, and added that this trend was already always bound to end once social distancing became less practice. So, according to evidence of the flu picking back up, is a sign that people are returning to some resemblance of their normal life. In the southern hemisphere, is giving the United States a preview of sorts of what's to come. It's been winter in the southern hemisphere, and some countries have experienced a tough flu season. Australia, for example, experienced its worst flu season in 5 years, with a rate of cases peaking earlier than it usually does in the country. In both 2020 and 2021, the Australian Department of Health and Aged Care noted a lower rate of reported flu cases severity, with only 37 lab confirmed flus associated with death in 2020 and zero reported in 2021. Flu hospitalizations and deaths reached an all-time low last year. There were nearly 600 cases of lab confirmed influenza in Australia in 2021. During this year's flu season, the country reported 217,000 cases. Wow. Though this is lower in 2019, when Australia reported more than 300,000 cases, the highest number of cases on company record. Webby noted that flu deaths and hospitalizations in Australia were relatively low this year, despite the sizable flu season that the country saw. Deaths and hospitalizations are largely driven by infections among elderly. So, and the Australian, they're still practicing caution when it comes down to, the older demographic. So that's why they seem to think it, because it jumped up so dramatically in Australia, they are telling, people in the US to probably expect the same thing, but we shall see. I mean, they're not always right about these things, ladies and gentlemen. We really won't know until we get more into the fall and winter. We're still technically in the summer, you know? So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. I haven't had the flu. I can't remember the last time I had the flu. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.